Leicester, famous for knitwear, particularly socks. And the most famous name in socks is Woolsey. So I want you to meet Mr. C.K. Elliott. He's in charge of Woolsey sock production. Tell me, Mr. Elliott, how do you set about making socks these days?
Well, broadly speaking, it all begins with this.
Wool yarn.
Not quite. You see, we blend wool and nylon together into one yarn, especially to give hard wear. That practically does away with darning.
That certainly ought to interest the ladies. But tell me, how does this
yarn become a pair of socks? Well, come with me down to our Bruin Street mills and I'll show you. This is the way we knit socks today.
A bit better than Grandma's 4 needles, isn't it?
Better and 1,000 times quicker. Now here's a machine knitting our famous grip tops. There's the wool and nylon yarn. Then extra nylon to reinforce the heel and toe. And lastly, elastic yarn for the grip top.
That's rather a lot of sock, isn't it?
That's not all one sock. There are about a dozen grip tops there.
What happens now?
We separate them. It's known technically as draw threading. In some cases, as with our top form socks for boys, we knit the turnover tops separately. And here we sew them onto the sock itself.
Now I suppose the socks are more or less ready.
Good heavens, no. They come to this room for their first inspection. Then they're all taken to another of our works where they're thoroughly washed and go through our special anti-shrink process. After that, they're dried, put on forms and steam pressed like this. Finally, they come back to Bruin Street to have the size number and the name Woolsey stamped on them. Then a final inspection by expert hands and eyes, and off they go to the dispatch department. Grip tops, Cardinal, Viscount, and top form.
You know, with all this inspection, I bet very few faulty socks ever get through.
They don't. You see, all of us here are trained to take great care in the making of anything that's going to be marked Woolsey. We've been going for over 200 years, and we've inherited the skill of generations of Woolsey craftsmen.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. No wonder the most famous name in socks is Woolsey.